There are great players. There are champions. But then, there is a man who sees the table differently. A man who doesn't just play billiards. He rewrites what's possible on the table. And that man is Efren Reyes. But here's what most people don't know. Before the titles, before the fame, Efren Reyes was just a poor kid, sleeping inside a pool hall. He wasn't born into wealth. He wasn't trained in elite academies. His real name is Efren Reyes. Born on August 26, 1954, in Pampanga, Philippines. And from the very beginning, life was hard. He came from a poor family. No luxury. No proper training facilities. Just survival. At a young age, he moved to Manila, and this is where everything changed. Because this is where he found Lucky 13. Lucky 13 wasn't just a pool hall. It was a battlefield. A proving ground. A place where only the toughest players survived. Located in Manila, Lucky 13 was one of the most famous billiard halls in the Philippines. A place where money games, hustlers, and legends were born. And Efren? He didn't enter as a player. He entered as a helper. He cleaned tables, ran errands, watched, and learned. But here's the turning point: because he had no home, he slept there. Inside Lucky 13. On the tables, under the tables. While others were resting, Efren was observing. Shot after shot. Angle after angle. He wasn't just playing, he was studying the geometry of the game. Now here's something important. Efren wasn't the only one in the family connected to billiards. He had an uncle who owned the pool hall. And that connection gave him access. But access alone doesn't create greatness. Obsession does. And Efren was obsessed. By the time he was a teenager, he was already beating grown men. Not just beating them. Outsmarting them. He didn't rely on power. He relied on imagination. He saw shots others couldn't even think of. And that's where his nickname came from. The Magician. But here's where the story gets even more unbelievable. When Efren went to the United States in the 1980s, he didn't go as Efren Reyes. He went as Cesar Morales. Why? Because if people knew who he really was, no one would gamble with him. And in those days, money games were everything. So imagine this. A quiet Filipino man walks into American pool halls, unknown, underestimated. And then, he destroys everyone. Top players. Local champions. Experienced hustlers. They didn't just lose. They were confused. Because Efren wasn't playing the same game they were playing. Then came the moment that changed everything. The 1994 US Open 9-ball championship. Efren Reyes, no longer hiding, faced the best in the world. And he won. Dominated. And from that moment, the world knew. This wasn't just a good player. This was something else. Let's talk about his achievements. Efren Reyes is widely considered the greatest pool player of all time. Over 100 international titles: World Pool Champion, multiple US Open Champion, Derby City Classic Master, first Asian inducted into the Billiard Congress of America Hall of Fame, winner of the prestigious Color of Money match against Earl Strickland, and perhaps most importantly, he changed how the game is played. Because Efren didn't just win. He invented new angles, new systems, new ways of thinking. He made impossible shots look repeatable. Now here's the surprising part. Even in his 70s, Efren Reyes is still competing. Still making unbelievable shots. Still outthinking younger players. But here's the difference now. His game has evolved. He's slower. Less explosive. But mentally? Even sharper. His style today is even more dangerous. Because now, he doesn't rely on speed. He relies on experience. Timing. Touch. Reading the table. Now let's address something people always ask. Did he smoke? Yes. During his younger days, Efren was known to smoke during matches. It was part of the culture back then. But as he aged, he reduced it significantly. His lifestyle matured, just like his game. Did he drink? Occasionally, like many players in that era. But Efren was never known for excess. His real addiction was the game. So how did he maintain his level? Not through physical dominance. Through mental mastery. He trained his mind more than his body. He built instincts that no one else has. Now, what about his legacy? Does he have someone to take over? Efren has children, but none have reached his level in billiards. And here's the truth. It's not about bloodline. It's about vision. Because what Efren has, you can't teach easily. You can't copy it. You can't download it. He sees the table differently. So what can people expect from Efren Reyes today? Not just wins, but moments. Moments that remind you why he is called the magician. Because even now, at 70+ years old, he can still make a shot that no one else in the room would even attempt. And that's the real legacy of Efren Reyes. Not just the titles. Not just the trophies. But the fact that he changed the imagination of the game. Because after Efren, pool was never the same. If you want more stories like this, deep, real, and untold, make sure you subscribe. Because legends like this deserve to be remembered properly.